Well, good morning or good afternoon, I guess it is, and welcome to another episode of Step Up to Rise Up, the show that is dedicated to those of you out there who know that they are called higher. And it is my job to provide you with resources to help you do just that. So, welcome everyone today. It's so good to have you with me. If you are here live with me, let me know that you're here in the comments so I can circle back and say hello at the end of this live. And as always, if you're catching this on replay later, just put hashtag replay in the comment section and I will come around and say hello to you as well. So today, let me just quickly introduce myself for those of you meeting me for the first time. I am a mindset belief coach, Linda Nelson, and I'm creator of the Believe in You Academy. And I guide heart-centered female solopreneurs like you to grow your business by growing your most important asset, and that is you. So I provide strategies to help you turn your passions into purpose and profit so that you can live the life of intention and impact that you deserve. All right, well, I'm going to get into today's topic here in just a second. Want to make sure I've said hello if in case anybody has joined me live. All right, and with that, I want to kind of recap. We're in the midst, or in week 2, I guess, of a special challenge that I created for you the month of October. And the month of October is critical in business in that it's the start of a brand new quarter, but it's also the last quarter of 2022. And for those of us in business, or for that matter, even those that want to make changes in our lives, this is an important time of year to really set yourself up for success, not only in this final quarter, but also to almost serve as a launch pad for you and your business and your life as we begin a new year in 2023. So I wanted to design something for you that was really going to get you into some purposeful actions. And so today I want to talk about kind of on the whole topic of intentions, which we worked on some last week, but we'll be even more focused on that topic this week. Before I visit this week's topic, though, I want to recap a little bit about where we were last week. This challenge that we're doing together, the month of October, is called Ready, Set, Grow. And week 1, which was last week, was really all about getting ready. And getting ready is getting in the proper mindset. Getting ready includes getting yourself to a strong start. It amounts to getting yourself prepared. And that means your mind, your body, and your spirit. And so I posted a calendar for you for the month so that you have something to refer to about what we're working on, not only each week, but also each day. We did some exercises and journaling throughout the week last week to really get some clarity about what it is we want to accomplish this month. What goals have we set? What habits do we want to create? And so we spent some time getting ready for that, deciding and committing to what we're going to do this month. And so that was the Get Ready week. This week, we're getting set. And getting set is setting some things in place that is going to allow you to grow. And we start by setting goals or intentions for the week as to what we want to accomplish. And we actually kick-started that off with a concept that I call Sunday Summit, which I posted about yesterday. And this is a habit that I've done, a couple of years now. I just take, and now it only takes me 20 minutes to half an hour or so, but I sit down on Sunday afternoon with some me time with my favorite beverage, or perhaps out on my deck, or in my favorite chair underneath my blanket when it's cold, whatever those things are that make that time special for you, I would encourage you to do. But basically, what I do is I take a look at the week ahead, I look at my appointments that I have, and I set my intentions for the week. In other words, I take a look at my week and I say, what do I intend to do or accomplish this week? And again, it can be for your business. What do I intend to accomplish for my business? Or it can be, what do I intend to accomplish in my life this week? So I'm a big believer in intentions versus goals. And part of the reason that I shifted that or made that shift in my mindset was because I had set goals so many times before. In fact, I set the same ones over and over again. And because I set the goals, didn't make them, set the goals, didn't make them, I had to really examine, okay, is it the word goals? Is something within me doesn't like that word? And so my mindset was around, let's change it to intentions. And that to me seemed less rigid. I certainly had to do another action because, as we know, doing the same things and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. And that was happening to me. I was just stuck in that place. I also set aside, as I look at my intentions for the week, I try to set up some self-care days or self-care moments throughout the week. And I had a post on that on Saturday. But it is important anytime during the week. It can be on the weekend if that's what works out in your schedule. But schedule some time for self-care. Doing something that brings joy, adds joy to your life. Because all this intentional living that we want has to be about joy too. We have to have fun doing it, if you will. So before I get into the topic of intentions and setting your week off on a good note, I want to backtrack a bit and tell you about the intentions that I had for you as I designed this challenge, making this an October to remember. I wanted to incorporate, or my intention was to incorporate some of my best growth tips, my best practices that I've done that really helped me move the needle for me the most. And we're working on these slowly throughout the month and maybe in just baby steps. But eventually, as we practice these things, I hope you'll take some of these intentional steps to really get some momentum and some action into your life, because that is what causes the growth in not only yourself, but also your business. If you're not growing yourself, you may not be ready for the next growth spurt in your business either. So it's important that you get yourself ready, you set some intentions, and get ready to grow. And that's what this challenge is all about. So my intentions were to build in some things that are, as I said, kind of my best tips for growth, the things that have worked best for me. And when all is said and done, it's all about habits. And we've talked a lot about those in the last several weeks. But as we talked, or I think you saw a post this morning, success lies in your morning routine. And again, we talked a little bit about routine over the course of the last couple of weeks too. Back to school, back to fall reminds us perhaps of the importance of routine, especially as it relates to our children and getting them out the door, and our spouses and, ourselves for that matter, to get everything done, because so much does depend on us as women. And so it's important to have a morning routine that sets you up with some very strong, empowering habits that allow you to be productive and feel really good about yourself as you begin your day. So that's what we're going to focus on this week. We're going to build a morning routine that really is empowering. And I'm going to introduce or perhaps reintroduce yourself to a concept called savers. And I will have some posts there for you in the featured section. In fact, it's already there for you to do even a 6-minute savers. And I'll talk about what those savers are in a moment. But I really want you to build a powerful routine, whether you have 6 minutes or 20 minutes or a half hour. And it's important to note that you need to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit when you're in a growth mode. And your body needs to be fed, it needs to be hydrated, it needs to be rested. So it's important that you do that. And if you're going to set aside time for you for a morning routine, an effective one, that's just for you, you may have to go to bed a little earlier so you can get up a little earlier and can get this routine that you build this week on autopilot so you don't have to think about it. And we'll talk about ways to do that in a minute. Let's see, I talked about intentions versus goals. I had to develop what I call an entrepreneurial mindset. If you're running your own business, you are responsible for all the things, whether you can do them well or not, because it's just you. You don't have a team of people. For many of us just starting out, not only do we not have a team, we can't really afford a team or extras. And so we have to learn to do all the things on our own, and it can be really daunting. And so an entrepreneurial mindset includes having a community of support with like-minded people who struggle with the same challenges. We need a safe container to share those struggles and to celebrate wins. That's the other habit that I developed that's so critical to your success, and that is we need to celebrate ourselves more. We need to bring more joy into it and celebrate our wins, because as solopreneurs, we're busy, as I said, doing all the things, and there's not a lot of people going, hey, great job. You need people outside of you to do that for you. It's hard to do that yourself. So that entrepreneurial mindset is really important. You're a CEO of your business, or you're a CEO of your life, and you have choices there. But you have to develop habits that are good for your body, your mind, and your spirit. So we talked a little bit about the importance of a Sunday summit, taking those 20 minutes or so, half hour or so, to really think about your week and the intentions that you have that you want to get done is so critical in being productive. And then once you know your intentions for the week, then you know which days you want to spend and set aside time for those goals and set intentions then for every day too. And that's important to your success as well. So celebrate yourself, set some intentions, do a little planning, and have a powerful morning routine. That is what we're going to be working on today. Now, once I incorporated those things in my day, I found that I built a number one, clarity around the actions that I needed to take around my business and around my life. And all that helped build confidence, because action and taking really purposeful, focused, daily, consistent action really helps to build confidence and belief in yourself. And if we fail anywhere in our business, it's because we lack that belief in ourselves. And when things get hard, we turn to self-doubt and fear and all of those negative thoughts that can take over if we're not careful. And so we need that entrepreneurial mindset to remind us of how far we've come and celebrate those wins that we're getting every single week. And then lastly, I'm going to introduce you to a topic or a concept, I guess, called power hours. And power hours we'll talk about more next week, but it's really much like your morning routine, but it's very, very focused on business activities. And we're going to talk about more next week. So today we're talking about the routine a little bit, getting it on autopilot. And I wanted to share with you once more, or reaffirm for those of you who have done this and want to pick it up and start doing it again. And that is the concept called savers. SAVERS. And SAVERS stands for silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing or journaling. And you all know how I feel about journaling. In fact, I want you to work on that every week. I'm going to provide some helps for you in your Wednesday email. Be sure you check that, where I'll give you some prompts, some additional things to focus on, to journal about throughout the week, so that you have a record when you're done of your thoughts and the things you're thinking about, things you're grateful for, thoughts that you have when you're in your savers morning routine, for example. So again, you can do it for 6 minutes if that's all you have in your morning. But the key is to get it on autopilot. And so you want to tap into that subconscious brain where we're dipping into those habits and we're doing those habits, but we don't have to think about them. And so in other Step Up to Rise Up episodes, we've talked about those things before, and you can search in the guide section for some more of those, or ask me for a review if you want, and really get that lesson about habit stacking and how we add to that morning routine and get it to be a habit on autopilot. There's been some really good videos I've done in the past on that. If you need that, just put savers in the comments and I'll make sure to get that to you. So anyway, whatever you have, whatever time to carve out for yourself, here's some tips on getting it done consistently every day. You got to make a special place, number one. You've got to be prepared. Like if you're going to be journaling and going through those savers, get that ready the night before. Again, you're going to find a little time for silence, to affirm yourself with affirmations. And you'll note I posted this past week about some fall affirmations. I guess there were things that you can say to yourself, and you can write your own. You can write them out as you journal. Visualization is really just visualizing your being successful doing the things you intend to do for the day. And then we have E for exercise. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out for a walk and take a lot of time for a workout or anything like that. It really just means get that heart rate going, do some jumping jacks, move your body. Maybe you need to do a little bit of housekeeping and zip through the house on your routine to get things off on a good start. But move your body. That's what the exercise portion is about. Reading is about picking up a book or a devotion, something to feed your mind with something positive. It's important to keep your mind positive when you're working on your best self. And then lastly, the scribing or the journaling. That, for me, has been the most impactful habit that I developed. So in order to habit stack, when you want something to stick, you do something that you're already doing and then incorporate a new habit. So for example, most of you know I love coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. I'm always going to take my meds, make my coffee, feed the dog. All of those things are part of my morning routine. And so I've attached my savers morning routine, which is basically my first hour of the day, to those other habits I'm already doing. I get up, go to the bathroom, wash my face, brush my teeth, stumble into the kitchen to make my coffee, get the dog taken care of. All of those things are built in to stuff I don't think about. They're on autopilot, so to speak. So when I wanted to start savers on autopilot, what I did was I incorporated that into what I was already doing on autopilot. And so The minute my coffee's done, I head to my favorite chair or my favorite spot. I light a candle. For me, that signifies that Christ is with me, and I start my silence and devotion, meditative journaling time. And I get into that savers routine, whether I have 6 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour. And because I've linked that savers morning routine to my coffee, which I'm always going to make sure I have, that was easier for that to become, on a subconscious level, an autopilot. So that's what I want you to focus on this week, is building a habit in your morning routine, something that you can do intentionally for the next couple of weeks and get that on autopilot. It takes a little time, but it's totally possible for you to do that. So that's all I have for you, my friends, today. We're going to practice some new skills now as we're ready. And if you're not ready yet, you can catch up. So we get ready, and then this week we get set. And by getting set, that means setting some intentions and building that morning routine. So look for more posts this week in the group. Don't forget to have fun with this. Celebrate your wins, journal, and build that morning routine. That's kind of your focus for the week. And I'll be back next Monday with the concept about power hours. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Appreciate your coming along and journeying with me on this Ready, Set, Go challenge. I just can't wait to see where you are with your intentions by the end of the month. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye for now.